all these boys now donate them. This gate where you see here, so you now what you don't boss. You have organization and they tell you until you have a government that's a society and makes
them and treating them with total human respect.
Do you know that most police officers buy their uniforms?
I heard
it.
They
buy statement forms. They buy statement form. So when they say statement form to you, say no, I won't buy it. It's my right that if you bring me here, you must give me a statement form to write, and I will not write until my rights are respected. They will tell you, okay, don't worry, we'll respect your right very soon. Everybody will leave you. By evening, they'll say, just keep him behind bar. When he's ready to write the statement,
this isn't sad.
And then wait. I'm telling you why it is like this. And then that happens. You go to court. You file for enforcement of your client's rights. Before it is assigned, it takes days. The man is there. And he says, this my lawyer, I don't even know anybody. He don't know anything. Because he wants results. He don't know nothing. Imagine, I've been here for 3 days. The matter is finally assigned. Wow. An order is granted. And then for the order to be typed and certified, it's, another day. So, but meanwhile, you would have still achieved this result by being diplomatic at the police station. Understand fully well that this man I'm dealing with, his psychology is far below, somebody I can reason with. So let me reduce my level, the discussion to his level. Yeah. Then when I step out of this place, I can now take steps and ensure that I pursue this to a logical conclusion.
Then I have a question off of this particular narrative, which you have thoroughly, tried to highlight. Isn't this the fuel to the fire of corruption in the system? Therefore, isn't this probably one of the measures by which we can say, well, corruption thrives because this looks now at this point customary of some sort, where you have to pander to the ego of someone? Because you see, if we're working by the law, then what that is saying is, well, what does the books say?
I told you that if you look at your constitution here, it says that every man is presumed innocent. Even if you are caught red-handed, you are presumed innocent. I told you also that for EFCC, they would have investigated you before inviting you. But for the policeman, they will invite you before they investigate you. And the moment you are invited, you are a suspect, you are an accused. In some cases, you now begin to look for even before a crime is established against you, you begin to look for somebody to take you on bail. Mind you, bail is free. They'll put it there, bail is free, we insist. But at the end, you will negotiate bail out of that place. It is when you get out, you begin to talk about, oh no, I paid so and so and I didn't pay all this. So, which one is better? For you to insist this is what the law says at the police station, or you get out of the police station and go to court where the law can be enforced.
Okay.
Where the law can be enforced. And then, lastly, because you have a system of government that does not either reward hard work or there are no consequences for misdemeanor or impunity. So you now have a system where, like Fidel Castro said, in a land of lawlessness, it becomes illegal to be law-abiding. So what you have is a lawless, policing society. And the government can make it lawful by ensuring that, look, they understand what policing is about. Yeah, we are multi-community police, and I laugh. You have not even taken care of the ones that you have. Look at police college. You have police brutalizing innocent citizens on the road for the fact that you are handsome, you drive a good car, or you have dreads. You are a criminal. And then
with a laptop.
Yeah, with a laptop. I told you, I gave you an instance of my own son, young boy in SS2, because he looks, chubby and muscular. He went for a movie, and then taxi was in. The police stopped. They said he was wearing a bling bling necklace.
Your son?
Yes, my son. And immediately he called me. I just said, give the phone to the police officer. I said, I greet you. Well done. Oh, beg na my pikin. I didn't even say I was a lawyer. I beg na my pikin. He go watch movie. Just he come back. He did secondary school. I couldn't drive him there. He had to take Uber. He said, okay, we are just on stop and search. We do patrol. He said, okay, who are they talk to? And I introduced myself. It's okay. But if at that point I start shouting.
I mean, you wouldn't shout. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to shout.
That's what I'm saying.
But
at that point, the question would have been, why will you be searching a taxi because you saw a young boy? You're telling me he's wearing necklace and he's, he looks suspicious. So anybody wearing necklace is looking suspicious. That would have been that is ordinarily my natural reaction. But I understand that the man on the other end, I don't even know him. I don't know if he's drunk. He might not be feeling fine. He might not be feeling fine. He might not have been paid his salary. So that is the society you find yourself. And so our only appeal can be to the government that, look, you send out killers out there to police us. What you have are killers out there. In some cases, even soldiers on the street. You know, we believe that once you are putting on a uniform here, you are not supposed to be civil.
Yeah.
That everybody should respect you. So government should understand that they send out people. You give a man who you do not understand his psychology a gun to be on the street, and then he can stop cars, harass people, and there are no consequences. Remember, sometimes in 2006 or so, a police officer was killed in Bradford by some petty thieves who were trying to break into a shop, and then there was a debate, in England whether every policeman should bear arms, and the methodology behind arms. You understand the psychology behind gun that you're carrying. Every policeman should bear arms. But here, to police college training, or some cases crash training, and then you're given you're on the road. You're posted on patrol duty. That man does not understand.
Wow.
Wow. You get to the police station, you see the rules of bearing arms. He hardly reads it. And then you say you want to quote law for him on the road, and that if you don't quote law, that means you are aiding corruption. Joyce.
well, so I'm not saying expressly that you're aiding corruption. I am saying that there are some things that inject the fire into the nerve of corruption, and something like this could be said to be one of it. Because if he knows that, so this is what we're saying here. He's not held to any higher standard. For that reason, if you're going to operate in the belly of hell.
He is. You know why? He is. That's why you don't hold him to a higher standard when you are with him. It is when you leave him.
Okay.
You now say, this man ought not to have behaved this way. So for that, I'm going to take it up with the authority. But now, like my Professor Iboni once told us, a man who is not free does not negotiate. A man who is not free.
Yeah, because it's like
negotiations.
That's a choice.
Talking about Abiola, that he wear Abiola's shoes. The one they call sit down and negotiate the terms of his interim government and the rest. That he would have said, you know what? Allow me go home first. Release me unconditionally. Let me go home. Take my bath, sit down, liaise with my lawyers, and then we come sit down to discuss and negotiate. But I'm in chains, and you tell me I should come and negotiate, terms and conditions. That means I won't be negotiating from a position of strength.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. For you to negotiate from a position of strength, It is not when you are head down with a gun. A man who is holding a gun, and you do not even understand. If he knows, that he's holding a gun, that there are implications to his actions. The only way he can understand is you leave him and then ensure that the implications to these actions that he had carried out, are seen to the latter. Okay. And once you do that, we begin to wake up the society. But also, you find out that some of us also are complicit. When you have skeletons in the cupboard, it is very easy for you to say, let it go, Jerry. I don't even want to bother myself.
Yeah.
Because you were not caught in the right position. You also had, some exhibits, like the police will say.
Yeah.
You had exhibits. So it is easy for you to compromise and then let it go.
Okay.
And say, no, I don't want to bother myself, because you'll be further opening a can of worms. So there are situations like that also.
Okay.
So, but everybody will cry foul.
True.
Everybody will cry foul. Let me give you another personal experience. A friend of mine was working in a bank, closed from work in the evening, and went to Babish to buy Indian ham. So he left us, in his office, and subsequently he called me. He said, come. Do you have 10,000 naira there? I said, for what? He said, just come with the 10,000 naira. Come, I did buy. And they said that they caught this guy with Indian ham. And I looked at them, they showed me I had known nothing. I said, okay. They claim it's an offense. And that so the announcer, where's the Indian? Because it was with the, and I said, I'll just give them the 10K. Make with it. I said, I won't give. I said, because the thing, you want quote law? And I said, yes, I want quote law. Because at that point, I was in a safe mood, safe environment. No gun, nothing. I said, your police station is not far from here. Let us go together. We go there, we drive you down there. How can you are holding Indian hem in your hand and you're telling my friend that you saw it with him, and that you're saying him is putting on a tie, responsible, gentle, and so you want to implicate him, you want to fleece him, you want to collect. At that point, the man knew that look, this was a dead end. He just said, I better carry your problem, go.
Can you hear that story?
Yes.
Okay. So
he wasn't ready to take us to the station because already the exhibit is complaining about is already with him.
Yeah.
If that thing, like in some cases, they can even plant it on you.
Yeah. We've heard stories about that.
If it's on you, then they begin you begin to negotiate. So
okay.
And so it depends on the
you know what? You're going to hold your thought. We're going to go off on a break. When we come back after a few minutes, I'll open up the telephone lines. We're Nigeria Info. Wow.
It's your deals plug, and as usual, I've got the most fantastic information on the market, and it's tailor-made just for you. It's the Cool FM anniversary month, and except you're living under a rock, maybe you're Patrick Star at this point, you must have heard about the Cool FM Money Rush. Cool FM is giving listeners a chance to grab all the money they can physically handle in a cash machine at the Cool FM studio. Up to 1 million naira is up for grabs, and you can be part of it. To get a chance to come to the Cool FM studios and grab some money, all you have to do right now is download the Cool FM Nigeria app from Android and iOS stores, message the studio, send a message saying Cool Money Rush, fill in your correct name and number so we can reach you, and just like that, you could be contacted. 1 million naira is up for grabs, so you literally don't want to dull it. So how much can you actually grab? It's the Cool Money Rush. And remember, to participate, all you have to do right now is download the Cool FM Nigeria app from Android and iOS stores, message the studio, just send a message saying Cool Money Rush, fill in your correct name and number so we can reach you, and just like that, boom, you could be contacted. So make sure you go hop on it right now, download that app from the iOS and Android stores, and let's make some money happen. How much money can you actually catch?
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Would you like to win some money?
Nigeria.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. My name's Joyce. Yes, you are on Nigeria Info. Welcome to the show. Our guest this afternoon, Labaris Oshama. We're talking about the recourse. And it's funny because we haven't even gotten to the recourse proper. We're still even trying to analyze the psychological burden that the average Nigerian has to bear, either as a police officer, because we must also be honest that the average police officer is struggling with something, his reality of being a police officer, whether it's his income, his family, the fact that on the social economic ladder he is somewhere down there, and all his, maybe in his eyes he's thinking, well, all the big men are there taking all the money and we're not necessarily getting everything that we deserve. So I believe they have a reality that they're struggling with. But I feel like the average Nigerian is suffering both from the personality of the officer that's not probably totally well funded, the one who's not psychologically evaluated but has a gun, and maybe every day is a bad day for him except maybe after the day his wife gives him sex. Like, you never really know these things, and he probably doesn't have any good days because life's hard and his responsibilities are enormous. Barrister Labaris Oshama, I have a letter here I want to read. This is from the Nigerian Police Force Kogi Division. They released this because a police officer was caught on camera assaulting a Nigerian, a traveler.
Yeah.
And it was reported that the officer not just assaulted one, but also extorted the other of 20,000. But here, what happened is that a Nigerian captured it on camera. Some Nigerians don't know whether they should or not. Some others don't even know whether it's legal or illegal. Because, one, you fear that you could get intimidated on one hand. On the other hand, you're thinking, well, I shouldn't implicate myself by capturing this on camera.
Yeah.
So I think it might be an obvious question, but for the benefit of those or anyone who's listening who needs to understand what they can do, is capturing a scenario with your camera legal?
Yes,
Can it be tendered in court?
It is legal.
Okay.
Even the Evidence Act had been amended to accommodate electronic evidence.
Okay.
So legal. The policeman is a public officer. His actions are public and can be reported publicly. But because of the danger in it, you don't do it when you are, except you're in an open environment where everybody, you have to also be discreet, because they know, just like this Kogi's incident, the commissioner had said the man had been arrested and will face disciplinary measure, which is the same thing I've been saying.
Identified and detained at the State Criminal Investigations Department.
Ensure that you are in a safe environment, and then you can now begin to report to senior authority. And we also, encourage the authorities to continuously, ensure that there are consequences for such actions as a deterrent to such police officers. But that said, it is, like I said, it's absolutely legal.
Okay.
It is not illegal. So don't, except they intimidate you, and that's why they will even intimidate you, because they don't want to be caught on camera. And because once you are caught on camera, it is the beginning of the end of your job. Look at the lady, the youth copper in Calabar that was assaulted by the army officer. We poured water and mud on.
Yes.
I was at the DIA in Abuja that day when somebody sent me the video, and immediately I gave it to the provost, the head of provost and at the Defense Intelligence Agency, and he just said, you know what, don't worry, we're going to deal with this now. And not up to 1 hour later, the army issued a press release condemning the act immediately, and then the lady, we also learned, was suspended, or some form of punishment was meted out on her. So that's how we can all gradually solve this problem of police brutality, harassment on the road, and the rest. And some people even have hidden cameras in their car. And so once a policeman, they are quick to jump into your car. Some of them that are very sensible now no longer want to go into the car because they don't know if you have hidden cameras. So some are quick to jump into the car. Some will tell them, some of their colleagues will say, you never see your a camera, no did that motor. Because they know that the authority at some point, when it becomes overwhelming, the authority will do something.
Some people have said, and this is, I know that not every police officer is corrupt.
No,
acts
not.
insane.
They have some fantastic police officers.
They're good human beings.
Yeah.
But some of them have given the rest a bad name.
Yeah.
In fact, some Nigerians have said that some police officers actually act like criminals themselves. What do you say?
I just told you. I said the police, what we have reduced our policing to the worst of us.
So now,
and that's why Fela said police station don't turn to bank DPO na bank manager. Not today, as far back, more than 30 years ago when Fela sang that song. And today it is worse off.
So what's the implication of that? Is a police station not a place of recourse of some sort, where you go and then you say, well, I'm a Nigerian and I hope that you defend my rights? Because if that's not what it is, then you're saying...
Recent was I go save. And it was lamenting and syndrome at the end. Everywhere. Not to Nigeria where you're not greeted happy weekend, even on a weekend. Your boys are here. Happy weekend,
Sunday,
sir.
madam.
Happy Sunday. You go to the bank to withdraw money you have deposited. The security man is greeting you. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. You know, the same way with the police station. You get there right from the gate to the counter to the offices. It is happy weekend. The law Afana. Madam, God bless you. You know, hey, madam, what did you bring? That's why, as far back as I can, they will tell you visited the policeman. What do you bring for me? He visits you. He will say, what do you get for me? But it is easy. We can say it is by choice. You saw the condition of that institution before you join. Some of them, it is how man go do. Why some? It is a way of escaping. You know, you use that uniform to perpetuate, you know, crime. Yeah. You already have that innate ability to be criminally minded. Yeah. And then you now need an endorsement. Yeah. You join the police. And mind you, because there are no checks, I applied to join Metropolitan Police in London. If you see the form they gave to me, I couldn't even finish filling it. At the end of the day, the recruitment officer told us, don't worry, they won't take you. You can join the army easily. Because they are civil authorities and they want to be sure that anybody they are recruiting to police the society, they also have, you know, records and they can police such. But who police the policeman? Nobody. You know, apart from this one-off cases when, you know, issues are reported. And then the rest of us are not even, you know, willing to report. So when you have such a situation where a policeman can just commit a crime and go into thin air, or somebody can commit a crime. If you commit a crime in VI now, for example, you are recorded as first offender. Go to Apapa, commit the same crime. You're also as first offender. No information, you know, so there's no central data where you can begin to. So if that policeman commits an offense, no biometrics or, you know, video recorded evidence, network information sharing, you know, information, it should just be for to go if you take up the...
That was the next question I wanted to ask, because I want to open up telephone lines. I want people to ask you questions which I might not have answered, and then that's also because I'm trying to allow you thoroughly lacerate every point that you raise the best that you can, so that everybody who's listening gets to understand what we're dealing with and what they can do. One of which is, I think it's totally surprising to me that the police station is said to be a bank. I'm trying to mentally ingest it.
Yeah, it's not bank. I just told you where it's not bank in Nigerian institutions. Customs. It's even.
I thought that the police station will be different, but well, thank you for
But that is what we have reduced our public institution.
To accept.
There's no difference between tip and bribe these days. A man, civil servant. Sorry, let me tell you, we are a nation either stealing or waiting to steal. The politician will steal your vote, will steal your money with your consent. The lawyer will steal from the politicians using technicalities of the law. The pastor will steal from you, promising you prosperity
and heaven.
And the young man will steal from your bank account that directly through BVN and you know. Yeah. So the civil servants will steal using their pain and our gullibility, you know, vulnerability. So you have a nation. The policeman is using the instrumentality of his office and the guns that you bought for them to also steal from us suspecting victims. So we are all a nation, you know, either stealing or waiting to steal. That's why it is very complicated. It is easy for you to point accusing fingers here, but you have the other four pointing at you in your direction. What do you do
in your business place?
Yes, when you find yourself in such situations, you know. So I also tell you that I had cause to discuss, interact with police at high level. Salaries of police officer. You see, Oga Patapata, AIG, DIG, IG. We fix police salary in an interest yielding account and collect interest up front. And then, yes, and then you have a situation where the police station, interest account for a police is a police station ordinarily supposed to be, a profit-making organization.
No.
But what is the budget of the Nigerian police? Last year, the budget of the Nigerian police was only implemented 20%. Only implemented 20% of the budget. So you now begin to ask yourself, what's the salary?
80%?
So where's the remaining 80% of that fund? Meanwhile, even the budget, the 20% that is implemented, mind you, some will find their way into
private pockets.
The average police station gets 15,000 naira interest monthly, and it doesn't come.
Oh.
It doesn't come. The day you complain as a DPO, they will tell you, I be like, that place don't tire you. Let's post you away from there to training school, where there is nobody seeing you, you are not seeing anybody.
So is that why?
Patrol vehicles, these patrol vehicles
Yeah.
you see, ordinarily 1,000 naira fare daily, and it doesn't come. That is why it is people that will contribute money. Organizations such as Nigeria Info, Cool FM, Wazobia FM, and the rest will donate to the nearest police station. Otherwise, the day it happens, you call them, they'll tell you, say, oh God, we know they. They'll say that office where be saying they know if they bring something for anybody.
Nah.
Is
Bring
the
something
DPO
culture. Like,
is
what
it,
is?
Yes, is the DPO supposed to be cap in hand looking for money to run a police station? Balogun, when he was police commissioner at Special Fraud Unit, even assistant commissioner in Panti, he practically raised funds from friends and well-wishers to build blocks, structures, indices. Ochogu, as CP legal in Alagbon. So when you have such scenario, I'm not like
I get it.
When you
I
have
really
such,
understand the
when you
plight
have
of the
such,
police officer.
affect the best of us to get recruited into such organizations, and so you now have the worst of you. Who will Ama go do? You get into such. As I speak now, some of them, their pension, contributing pension, had not been paid. And so, meanwhile, those already there, that are waiting to retire, are seeing what is happening to those that have retired. They want to make their retirement benefits while in service. And who would they make it from? You and I on the street. By collecting from us, by force, by fire, by thunder. And yet, the government will sit down there and tell you, we're doing something. We're reforming the police. We're going to ensure that... that's why in some cases you hear ta-ta-ta-ta somewhere. The policeman will be the first to remove his uniform. Go and check policemen that have died in the line of duty. The next day, their families are chased away from the barracks. And then the few that are compensated, you think the governor will come with photo ops and they promise them heaven and earth, and it ends there. And that's why in some cases, I told you of an incident where a policeman stopped me at Yano Road. I dropped somebody, a friend, where I wasn't supposed to drop the person. And then he said to me, we are attached to LASMA. Because the moment he said they are attached to LASMA, ordinarily he feels that,
you violated a traffic law.
Yeah, no. That the fine will be bigger. But if he just says, we are policemen on duty, you've committed an offense, I might start negotiating from the lower end of the ladder.
Yeah.
So once he says LASMA, he knows LASMA has, enforcement unit and
their fines are greater.
So he just said we are attached to LASMA, and this offense is 25,000 naira.
Yeah.
And and because you have a state traffic management authority that is closer to the states. So the states, even though those ones, they have their own, but the enforcement unit that if you report, the activities or the misbehavior or misdemeanor of these officials, the state will do something. That is why, from inception, the LASMA of that time and the LASMA of now, the modus operandi is different. You see them now, unlike when they started, they were like the police. Your car broke down on the road, LASMA will tow it, you pay. But now, they are more civil because it is people's complaint, true complaint, from the society. But for the police, it is not like that. Who do you give feedback to? We are complaining here now. Yeah. People are talking. NSAS came and gone. The echoes of NSAS, what led to NSAS, is still there. And the government is not doing anything. If you talk about the governor, he will tell you they are not under my authority. They are federal. So that's where we need to sit back and ensure that you decentralize the police, ensure that enforcement of misdemeanor and impunity it's actually looked into and dealt with, like they had before in Lagos State Police Command when they had anti-vice.
Okay, so now I want to ask you what I'm not going to call it the last question from me though. I want to ask you what the Nigerian can do. So, for example, there was a Nigerian who caught the police officer on camera, and then the police unit in Kogi State did something about it.
Yes.
I'm about to ask you what the average Nigerian can do at the point of harassment, intimidation, and extortion. But I also want to go to telephone lines. The phone line's been ringing. I think people have questions. So if you have just tuned in, welcome, Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce, 0700 993 993 993 and 01465 7190. I'm giving you a minute to ask a question in hopes that you have patterned your question or your thoughts in a manner that 1 minute is enough for you, all right? So if you have any questions, this is your opportunity. We're live streaming on Instagram. Instagram.
Good to know you and Labour.
Yeah, good afternoon. Dan Baba himself.
Thank you very much for calling. Go ahead. Your question.
Thank
How about
you.
you use
Mr. Labour,
505?
but I think, plead with you to tell Nigeria never to record a police officer. It has happened to me before. They caught me and they almost killed me.
That's why I said you have to be discreet. I'm not saying do it publicly to their eyes.
Yeah, but if you say don't record the police officer, then the man without the gun, the civilian, suffers. Because, well, there's no
Be
recourse
discreet.
for him.
If you have to do it openly, then don't try it. Because you need evidence. I just told you need evidence, Dan Baba. You have to be discreet. If you are in a very safe place, you can do the recording.
All right.
But if it is just you and that man or those people, don't try to.
All right. Well, thank you very much. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Tell us your name and go ahead with your question.
Great. The law. Good afternoon, sir.
I agree to your guy. Well done, sir.
Thank you very much. The law. The bad eggs among the police. June 12th this year. In a private car, 5 of them. They just blocked me. Yes, I hear noise of my car, so I'm trying to find out where that noise is coming from. Oh, we are from Alausa Task Force. The inspector get into my car. They were trying to drive off with my car. I quickly entered the car. Then the sergeant entered front with him. They opened the compartment and they saw the 70,000. I split the money into 2 for my aunties in the village. And I said, no, this money is for my aunties. They said, yeah, we've been looking for you. They took the 70,000. The sergeant give one part of that money to the inspector. Put it in your pocket. They don't want the other guys to know.
And
So no, yeah.
So they dropped me somewhere around the last house. Oh yeah, take your car, move.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
still looking for that car. I never see that car on that road again. The
Egbeyemi
bad eggs among Nigerian police.
All right. Thank you.
Egbeyemi is the chairman task force. No, it's RRS chairman. He was chairman task force.
Yeah.
These are people that you can write petition to report the activities of their men. I remember when Tunji Disu was also RRS head. At some point we had his number, and that's why what some commands do, they ensure that they display, superior officers' phone number,
Okay.
that you can call them immediately, even though at the end of the day you might not see your money again.
Yeah.
But you will be saving other people. That
Okay.
look, there is a team pretending to be task force operating in this area.
I want to ask you, what do you say about officers who don't wear the uniforms, and so they come at you as a thief would?
They will tell. That's why I tell you that in the Nigerian police force, even though there are rules, but there are IG that cut up its own new rules. No police officer should be seen in mufti. No police officer should be seen, in danfo, using danfos to patrol and the rest. Police officers, at least in a patrol vehicle, they identified the vehicle is here.
No, but nothing be done about that because now
They will tell you that they are surveillance. That they are surveillance.
What
if
does
you
that
wear
mean?
surveillance, that they're undercover. That if you wear uniform, you will easily know that they
but
are
how
supposed
do
to
we
mix up so that you won't know, and then they'll catch you in the act. They always have excuses for this thing, but that's why I'm saying that at some point, I forget the name of the IG that said, look, police officers should no longer be on mufti and drive danfo to harass people. I think we need to introduce these things back. So when you see a police vehicle coming, it's a police vehicle. But also they will tell you that if armed robbers are operating, the moment they sight a police vehicle, it will scare them. They will run away, and so they'll be able to catch them.
But now we're complaining about the burden that the average Nigerian bears, and and I think I would rather it was easier for the Nigerian to readily and easily identify an officer.
If it's not about identifying or non-identifying,
but they harass people without uniform.
Even those wearing uniforms still harass people.
But at least now we know who we're dealing with, as against not knowing who you're dealing with.
That's what I'm saying. So if we have properly trained police officers, whether they're in Danfo or whether they're in police patrol vehicles, and they are humane, responsible, and to you they are polite. Have you ever seen a car? Police, was a time Algon donated Prados to them.
No Nigerian car is even clean. If you buy Benz
today, if you give police officers public vehicles, Benz 550 GL, just give them 3 months. Those Benz will come back battered.
Yeah.
And then you begin to wonder.
There's no maintenance culture.
They will begin to wonder, why are the vehicles like this? But their own personal vehicles are well maintained. But because there are no consequences for, nobody's held responsible for those vehicles. So that is why they will always be in such state. So in the same vein, nobody is held responsible for those behaviors, whether in uniform or outside uniform.
I want something to be done about this. So now what? Because this is it. I hear people say, well, we got arrested or we got intimidated by these men who say that they're police officers, but they had no uniform.
Write a petition. That, like I said, the money they collected from you might not be returned, but you'll be saving other people. That look, some will tell you we've written series of petitions. Keep writing, keep reporting, keep calling into programs like this. That's why sometimes you'll be on air, you will say, somebody will call in and say, oh, some boys are disturbing in Mushin. You will say, oh, if the police authority are listening, please go over there. And then sometimes they listen and then they go there. So when you keep insisting, you keep reporting, someday the authorities will also hear and know that in this area there are some persons wearing uniform. They all have stations. They know the police station covering that area. Let me tell you one that happened in Bagada once, where something happened. We wrote a petition to the IG. The IG sent a monitoring team from Abuja, headed by Assistant Commissioner of Police, to come investigate the matter in Bagada. And all the boys from Attorney Police Station that was in charge of that environment, because we followed them, they went to that police station, summoned the team, even though at the end of the day I saw, them trying to hide, something. Mm-hmm. But I was happy that at least, the IG was responsible enough to send a team to respond to our petition.
All right, so telephone lines, you have a minute to ask a question. Nigeria Info, hello, welcome. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Good afternoon to you. Tell us your name and go ahead with your question.
I want to be anonymous.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you. You
have 1 minute.
Your guest.
You have a minute, please go ahead. You have 1 minute, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I really commend your guest. Your guest is saying the truth. But it's not saying some facts.
You have 1 minute, so hurry up. Go ahead.
How could somebody get in contact with your guest?
Well, you're anonymous, first of all. I don't think he should be speaking to
Just
you.
Just go online. Google my name, Liboros Oshoma. You'll get.
You don't have a question?
Your name is what?
Liboros Oshoma.
Liboros Oshoma. Okay,
yes,
I will do
just
that.
Google the name. You'll get in touch with me anywhere.
Okay, thank you.
Well, he says you're not speaking all of the truth. I'm not necessarily sure what he's trying to imply.
I can only speak the truth that is available to me and the public. His truth I might not know. Maybe that is why he wants to speak with me.
Okay, so we're going to go off on a break. When we come back, I'm going to allow more questions. Yes, he's on Instagram. I'm not sure if he's anywhere. Well, yeah, he's everywhere. But, follow him on Instagram. There gets
I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook.
Well, he's just a voice trying to make Nigerians aware of our Nigeria. So on Instagram, for sure, he is Liboros_Oshoma.
Yes.
GCFR.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Off on a break. We'll be right back.
Activate.
He said that they name a child after the situation.
Yes.
So
So it's like in some cases, it depends on what happened at that time. That's how they give names. Yes. So they will. Okay, like there's an Urobo name. Although I'm not Urobo, Omote Joko. You know, if you've had first child girl, second girl, third girl, but fourth one you will say, look, girl nasty Pekin.
And that's someone's name.
Yes, that's someone's name. And so when you hear them Omote, you don't know that it's a longer.
Well, there you have it. His name is rather easy.
Edo. Oshoma, it means God plans.
Okay.
Oshomare.
That's short.
Oshomole.
Those
are the kind.
Oh, that's real short. I'm taking questions. If you have a question regarding,
I was saying that if we truly want to solve the problem of the police, if the authority and the Nigerian government is ready, it is easy to track this problem because you have the police.
You know what?
Police
I
posts.
That's going to take us more than 2 minutes, and I don't want to cut you off because
no, it won't take up to
a minute.
1 minute. Yes.
Okay.
You have the police posts, from the post to the division, from division to area command to the state command. From state command, you have zonal command. And then from the zones, you have the IG. So all of these areas, they have line of reportage. So if it is easy, if anything happens in an area, you already know the jurisdiction or the police station or the post that covers that area. You can reach the commissioner, from the commissioner to the area commander, from area commander to the DPO to the post. So it becomes easy. And they all do briefing every Monday, but they will tell you no capacity, and then the men also are not motivated, and then Nigerians also are not cooperating, or that we know our rights, but we sleep on our rights.
Is our inaction to blame partly?
Yes, partly.
For all this that's happened to us?
All of us, both the police, both the people, our actions and inactions.
Particularly our inaction, because sometimes I feel like, the person, if they would act...
Also our actions, because when we act, we overact. And then when we don't want to act, we just go blank.
I also feel like sometimes we don't know. So there's the problem of not knowing how to act that further makes the suffering further amplified.
That's why programs like this are important. So, people learn to act. They know that, look, I can do a petition. I can write, to the authority, and like they say, raise your voice and people will listen. I can raise my voice and people will listen, and then even if I don't get compensated, but at least it will stop this trend and then save other people from.
We're going to quickly go off on a short break. When we come back, 0700 993 993 993 01 465 7190 on Nigeria Info, the sunny side.
Activate. We are radioactive. Worth.
We continue. My name is the sunny side. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon, ma.
Welcome. What's your question and your name?
Comrade Dikechuku.
Go
I
ahead.
greet your lawyer.
Thank you.
I agree to comrade.
I want to commend you, and I want to tell you that many Nigerians doesn't have good manners to approach police. Secondly, if you have a police brutality or abuse, and you don't have third party, and you don't have a video recording, sir, what will you do? Secondly, I want to tell you, I'm not ignorant. I'm one of the people in Nigeria.
I'm sorry. You're right. I do apologize. I do apologize. Your last sentence.
So I'm one of the people that have been shouting for Joyce, Metali, and the free that Senator don't have to tell INEC what to do. So replay my distance.
All right.
Lastly, it is the judge of Supreme Court that installed the office of them. He will set you to my maternal home.
Okay, so you have stepped out.
I want to tell you
Thank you.
That it was the judges that installed the office of them.
Hello. Well, thank you very much for calling 99.3 Nigeria Info. You have a minute, and I hope you can regard that. Hi.
Hello.
The volume of your radio set. Turn it off.
Yeah, it's up.
It's not off.
Okay, I'm all right, Nami.
Okay.
Hello.
Welcome. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Your name and question.
I've heard all you have been saying right from the beginning, but that lawyer, if he actually is advocating for the ignorant people or people that do not know their rights, we have the human rights activists. We're supposed to have human rights activists in each local government for complaints. They have to set that area up and let government take portion it, or let a policeman, even though they are corrupt, to have a police post in each local government and each secondary school where maltreatment or human rights as a teacher.
Hold on a second. Could you rephrase your question? What exactly is your question?
My question is that if really is working, advocating for the less privileged, that they should be able to organize themselves as human rights activists and set up a complaint unit.
All right, I got
within the local government.
I got that. I got that. I want you to speak on that. Well, so there are two things you're going to have to speak on. I don't know whether you think it's necessary. The first, and then, of course, this one.
Yeah, from this, I should understand to advocate for human rights.
Yeah.
We also we don't get funds, personal funds to give back to the society. Nobody donates money to us. In a complaint, at what point will I have to do my other job where I'll make money to fund that organization and then also take care of my family, because I also have my family. So for me to do. Except,
alone.
Yes.
So I think
you need Nigerians like her also who will say, I am not a lawyer, I am not Ghanify me, but I want to put this fund aside, no matter how small.
Then
to
a
be
person
able
can
to
also say, can a person also say, I'm a lawyer and I would like to volunteer my service.
That's a big benefit. When you have organizations, when you have such platforms where people contribute, it becomes easy. You can have lawyers who knows that I can go volunteer one day of the week to take up cases of human rights.
It's actually exemplary in protest, because there you had Nigerian lawyers springing out of the darkness, and
there were funds.
Yeah,
there were funds to take care of those lawyers. There were funds. If cases where you have to travel, there were funds to ensure that you
in the absence of funds. I want you to finish that thought. So, is it possible that you say volunteer your
one day
during the week?
That's what we already do. People come to you, like as I speak to you now. There are some school fees for people that we don't even know that you have. You know, people that have not paid my school fees.
Yeah.
You have to squeeze out from the little that you have.
Yeah.
There are people who come to you. I would talk. Even Okada riders, the law, and they want to take my Okada away. Please give them the phone. Let me talk to them. Where are you? Okay, I'll meet you there. We render such with funds, in spite of the fact that Nigeria is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm saying we all together, both lawyers and non-lawyers. Then to the other question, where there is no evidence. When there is no evidence, still reports.
Okay.
Because if you fail to report, how will the authority know that such acts are treated by their men?
Beautiful.
It might not benefit you in the law because that there's no reoccurrence.
Yeah.
Now the IG has set up a team to investigate the action. Even if those people were not camera and there's a report, they still have set up to say, okay, and any police you meet, you remember some officers were Naira high time, they will remove them, they come back to the highway again because the same people will complain, our highway no longer safe. Some of them are not of evidence. Some of us a result of from people that look, this thing is getting out of hand. So still whether there's evidence or not, still complain. Not necessarily because you want to be compensated beneficiary of such complaints.
All right. Well, thank you. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Have to ask a question. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning, Joyce.
Welcome. Good afternoon. Happy to have you. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
My name is Obun.
Yeah. Go
I've
ahead.
been listening to you. The problem we are, the people who went to complain and they did something about it are the ones who have money to pursue the case, not an ordinary man on the street.
Not all cases.
Who has no any level in the society, as they say in the street.
I know how many people
if
have written petitions.
Nobody knows you, nobody will listen to you. You can't go to a Nigerian police station and complain that a policeman molested you or did wrong to you.
So let the lawyer speak on it. Thank you very much.
It's a self-defeatist approach to these petitions for free. Authority. Now he called talking about complain to you. Say police stations around you. You go there, you are complaining to who sent out the boys to harass you. Go to the state court. All you do the IG. This is in this area. Get a petition. You can come together, write a petition as resident association petition, and complain that if this thing is not taken care of, it might lead to breakdown of law and order.
Very true.
So once you write such petitions, it comes once, they ignore, it comes second one, come third one. The authority, they are not deaf, they will take steps. But you find out that in some cases, we just say nothing will be. The police, they didn't will be there.
And that's caller is saying, well, if you don't know, you
know this approach. There are people who do know anybody and they have gotten this complaining by just going out and money to write petition. In fact, in some cases, through courts, like, lawyer, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will ensure that something. But if these things are not, if we don't highlight them, how will they know? Like this, we are in this mess. But say there's a solution to it. The solutions are raise yours. And no matter if you're not the beneficiary of raising, somebody else will benefit from it.
So, maybe at some point I can share details of some lawyers who might, on their off days, decide to maybe write a petition for some. There
are many.
Look, I would like to have a contact, maybe 2, maybe 5.
There was
10.
those, I remember that time, college friends, who were doing this thing, and I named numbers I told you. But the barrage of it's frivolous, and so when you don't do seriously, because no grand chance. Take for example, you can afford to club every night, but people cannot afford money to that. Just have a few friends, lawyers, community of lawyers that when these things happen, we can always,
even if it's transport money. Yeah, I agree with that.
For our community, for the less privileged in our community also. So they don't go meet this team. That was what NSAS did. They put funds that say, look, we've been harassed, go to our team of lawyers and they will take up the matter. Such car to my office and you say, a lawyer just said, write small. It's small. If I see and I assess the case, this does not have things, I will do it. Imagine a client coming to me and say, I just buy one small land of 75 million. And let me write agreement, may I find you small thing. You think I also don't want to buy land or, So these are some of the problems.
Look,
you say because it's harassment, because I'm a human rights lawyer and rider. And these problems,
we all
want to eradicate it. The lawyers and non-lawyers. Nothing stop you from setting something aside to say when there is community, this is what we want to put together to look for somebody to solve it. Let me give you an instance. There was an estate on that on this Lekki corridor when they were constructing the road. They came and said they want to go to court. I told them, I said, look, if we go to court, you fought this issue. We can have an amicable resolution. No, this lawyer, you don't want, this one doesn't have fire in his balls. And then they left. Eventually, they went to court. Another lawyer collected the brief, went to court, and they didn't achieve result. They end up sitting down with those same people. And then the chairman later saw it years later and said, I respect you, because the advice gave us, because money, what to do with it, we want to speak. But those funds were kept aside. Communities around them that do not have the resources to assess, justice, it would have been easier.
In fact, you've just taken a thought out of my head when you said that, set village and community. Because immediate recourse, you don't have like a 911, you don't have anybody you're calling. Everybody is less privileged. Like everybody at this point, because, well, you can't quite say your money, because if you somebody had there and he's really frustrated.
No, not everybody is less privileged, Joyce. Not everybody.
No,
look, let me give you an instance here.
No, but you just said now that the lucky people did not have their money, but they didn't get it right.
It's not everybody in that area. There are people, they have G, right? And then all they do is just call. Now, that's why, no matter where you are, if you have the ear and spot where you are, the policeman that stopped you there, a phone call will come to, without give them his number. That means, like I told you, they know how to trace. G will call command. Okay, please, commanders, we DPO in this area. They say call the officer. That man is a social person there. Also on a big,
So what I meant was like the larger part of society.
Yes, we are all privileged.
That's what like the larger part of society.
We are all privileged. And then you have a situation where our government has led us and left us to our fate. Left to fate. What do you keep her? And that's some of this, to them. But the limit.
Absolutely.
To how far we can go.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. There's a limit to how far. Even how many people have left in the office now. Salaries, because those people who are working with me might not necessarily subscribe to my ideologies about human rights.
Even indeed,
they want to eat. So when there's a limit to the extent I can go. So you don't have to be a lawyer to set something aside to keep this justice society.
Beautiful. Banking, you don't have of one person. The community can open like a bank account, and then the bank is giving what's the name for the person who regulates money, who's in charge of money? Well, yes, the who proves or disproves.
Okay.
As against putting an individual, because you can say, well, this man is going to eat our money, so you can put someone else that you can probably trust, and I think you can put a bank in. It's like when people put like their gold in banks.
You have a vault where like you put. Somebody trespassing on your land, you say, no.
Or put a lawyer. Lawyers in charge.
You say, no, we'll fight this cause. This is my land. You can't just come and take my land. Is this way? Policeman tramples on your rights. And then so let it slap. On the right of the next man, and the next man, and the next man. The moment you part time, because the last one he did is almost costing him. You now him from patrol. He now had to sit in the office and doing nothing for the petition against him.
Okay.
But when we don't do these things, they would think that they can do anything, and where we did.
To the show, Nigeria Info. Your question taken them. Hello. Volume of your radio set. Hello. Volume of your radio set. Afternoon. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I want to comment on police.
You have a minute. You have a minute.
About it. Yeah, what I want to say is police, or sometimes like 3 teams or 2 teams use the vehicle, handing over to each other without the vehicle resting, and then maintenance of the vehicle as well. The government or the DPO, whoever, the commissioner of police, will not have any penny to post it myself. Government are not putting money on all these things. There are things to put in place. The pocket was just like maybe the percent now. There were will come down. But the commissioner is
who didn't primary school to investigate a high-profile murder. Where does he want to start from? Apart from right then, ask you to come back later. So I told the scholarity bent our police is battered. And then the police managed to go read law, add degree to degree, you get promotion, you get to police commissioner someday. You complain about the activities of super when you are rank. And then you do the same thing. Vision representation will look very clean. He's look for come to date money to him, give him something, he go down. It won't treat down the Christmas time, everybody's falling over themselves to cut friendship of the police commissioner, the area, but everybody suffering. Nothing. And then they take it out on their superior. They take it out on you on the street. And there's God is supposed to protect you. The people that protect you are the ones battering you. You that is supposed to also now devise a means to protect yourself. I say, okay, let us continually report the activities of this man. You say no, we are looking for you because you don't want your name Our name is now,
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
On their names.
There are some persons that will tell you, no, I know these people, they are my friends. I don't want my name to be there. They will say, I volunteer, put names and do report, But
now people must do, and it's not enough to just
problem that the police is going through. We also understand, as I speak to you.
Off on a break. You have the 30 seconds.
Yeah, as I speak to you, even the National Assembly, the bribery that goes on there to be protected also will ensure that they create police.
And doing something is what we might about.
Listen, and they awesome. Then go over to www.nigeriainfo.tournament.
How can we? Because if you try to get from PVC, even Shina Pena that said he won, that people said he couldn't win. Tell him it's either PDP or AC. Politically, what there to answer has not been done. Doing the incidences to that corporate to this moment.
I said I wanted to listen to more people, but because I see a lot of people trying to call in. This is also a self-defeatist. We talked about the people complaining, even the policeman who's been designed to fake. We can no longer continue with this system that is skewed against
because
us.
We really
He
can't.
talked about Owerri quickly, Imo State, and I said it last time here. It is those that refuse to vote, the ballots that did count in of Rochas, empty 800 ballot papers. Votes and came for will simply do is to those empty ballot papers and take 300 from there to add to his 20, and automatically he will get 320 and then say, court, look at these ballot papers, INEC didn't want to count them, just count them in my favor. That's what happened. He said he didn't get the link, but I'm telling him that's what happened. And then so that is why I said it also here last time, that you do not know the importance of election, because if you understand government, look, it is the same government that we're talking about, said in my last statement. If you understand that this same police is created by your government, it is the same police, it is the same government that will solve this problem.
Then you must
participate in the process to elect people who understand security and welfare is the ends of government. But if you refuse to, my vote would count. A vote count, already they are sharing money for 20, they give you 2,000 naira, and you say the vote won't count. Also election, they are buying your card and you say the vote don't count. Do you buy something that is worthless? So that's where we trooped out in NSAS. I expect to see us troop out like that and say, you know what, for this election, local government election, we want a statement. How many people? Everybody sat down in their houses and said, the vote count. If you continue to have that, I find ourselves in this system, the worst of us, we continue to rule over the best of us, not the government.
99.3 Nigeria Info. If you have a question, I'm with you. Hello, good afternoon. No, I'm sorry. We have to give someone else an opportunity. Hello, Nigeria Info. Welcome to the show.
Yes, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lady. Welcome. Tell us your name. You have a minute. Go ahead.
My name is Joy.
Welcome, Joy.
I'm calling in respect to the Nigerian Police Liberation for always coming true to your word, either for PDP or for AD. You've always stand firm. To follow when you were also up to Lagos. Yeah, I thank you for what you're doing. This is what Fesmo was doing until he came out of the government and he said to me. And I pray to be you. You're even taking up, giving a post.
Spoiling. Yeah, or you don't change.
My own, I always vote on that own part. Make sure I've been voting. But my issue is this. The Nigerian police have been struck to behave their animals, because when you are at the police station, you don't see lights, you don't see cars, you don't see anything. And big wonder. We are growing.
Do you have a question, Rick? So what's the question? Are you officers?
No, I'm a complicated.
Seconds. I've given you your hand it already.
Okay. Well, I think the issue with it is because of their struck. They talk this way, the more awareness is created to Nigerians always not give up and always stand up to make change for.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Well, the structuring of police. So the thing to lie about.
To that one.
Hello, Nigeria. The volume of your radio set. Welcome. Sonny, turn on the set. Name. Thank you.
Yeah, Francis from. Yeah, to be honest, I greet you.
Greet you, Francis.
God bless you for your truth.
God bless you too, sir.
Yes. The honor is that
what's
and my question of goes in all I have said. How do this country group of people?
Can you hear us? Hello. I don't know what you. Name. Ask your question.
My comments I just want to make is that I just want to make a short contribution.
You have 1 minute. Go ahead. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
What I want to say is that we all know that action is on roots, and the way forward we as a nation now step, and we as for now. And
thank you very much. I will do Nigeria Info. Welcome the Sunny Volume Radio. The volume of your radio set. Hello. Nigeria Info here. Sorry, back. Line clash. Hi, good afternoon.
Joyce.
Welcome. Good afternoon. Your name, question, or comment?
I don't have name.
Oh, thank you very much for calling. You're a police officer.
Anyway, the minister answers made them pay us.
So what were you promised?
You said?
What promised as a police officer?
They promised to increase our salary.
From what to what? What was it, and what did they promise?
They promised to increase our salary.
They tell you how much they were going to increase your salary by?
They tell us, but for the past 15 years.
How many years?
15 years now.
Wow.
That is it.
Depreciation, inflation, cost of living for this money the last 15 years.
Police. So tell them ever move then.
A doc mentioned the same thing.
Quickly, what this Saudi Arabia's authority want to recruit from Nigerian police, not as they queue up to enroll in this. Why do you think that Abwin Lawrence was brutalized? Because relations truly. When I'm for peacekeeping as an inspector, I had 2 men on my throat, and I have as an inspector, apart from for failure. So if you fail, the society understand that provided every necessary and didn't pick up or share will create for policemen to fail. Then they take it out on you. And they take ordinary people that you are supposed to be protecting. Then also, what can we do? Always, what can we do? We can't.
It's so this question. I also had here 16,015
years
question, because I feel like the police officer wants, but except the topic is on Nigeria Info, they can speak to anybody.
No, because you need to understand that the policeman is environment working. I just told you, if you come to this talk, you so and it's better for you. You're collecting 65,000 naira, and then you can fleece the ordinary man on the street.
Yeah.
You're kept in a duty post where people will come, lay complaint, they pay money, you keep your own, you keep Oga own, or you don't even have a job at all.
So what can we do? Because you see, it needs to be corrected. Otherwise, we're telling the police officers to fail.
The correct structure, this existing structure can't correct it. We'll be deceiving ourselves. The structure can't correct it.
That is the question, really. When
the
you
existing structure in time says today, it's not percent. It is 90% or 100% in some cases. How many contracts have been awarded that were not executed? As I speak to you now, do you know how many senators in your National Assembly have corruption allegation cases hanging over their head and nothing has happened? And so the existing structure can't correct. And they will tell, imagine somebody telling you, I hosted this lady that was contesting for councillorship in Lekki area.
Okay, now. Yeah.
And
what did you find?
They will tell you, you can't win. Don't bother. You won't win. Human beings. We are the structure. Just the same way I say we should come together, put your money where your mouth is. It's the same thing. If you know that your senator is not representing you, come next election, you allow people who do not know their right from their left to elect a senator for you while you are at the newspaper stand or indoor, tweeting and complaining. Allow you be the determinant, you be the driving force of those to elect a senator.
Choose your destiny. You seem to have a say in your destiny.
We don't understand the powers of those in government. By stroke of a pen, the government can say, you know what, from today, we can only complain. When I started, I read section 160 of the Constitution to you. Despite the provisions of that section, some men sat down at the National Assembly and were trying to use a superior law to amend that provisions. And because we do not understand the powers that they have, that look, if you elect, people who, if you elect garbage to your National Assembly, you get garbage. So that's why, as elections are approaching, what we can do is to say, look, who are the candidates? We want to see them. We want to interact them. And it is also not true that we are doomed with just two parties. We created those two parties. We can create another one.
Absolutely.
It is our votes that created APC.
Exactly.
It's our votes that created APC. It's our vote that created PDP. And so now INEC, I like the battle between INEC and the National Assembly. INEC insisting on section 160 that, look, we have the powers to do what we did. In Edo, if it was the fact that vote don't count.
Very true.
Do you know that Oshomole would have overrun Obaseki in Edo State?
Absolutely. Because it was probably the biggest conversation on Twitter that period.
It was the party leader of the national party, the party whose government was at the center. But people insisted. We saw videos of villagers saying, we caught this man, with ballot papers. And we insisted when we asked them.
People voted, didn't leave, waited for the votes to be counted.
Apart from that, the people were ready to say no to godfatherism.
It was a
slogan.
I think I don't know Lagos.
But even though at the end of the day, they are all suffering the consequences of Edo no be Lagos now, because Edo can never be Lagos. If Edo works hard enough, maybe someday it might be Lagos.
Yeah.
But they stood their ground. If we all also in Nigeria, like I said, stand our ground the way we all troop out during NSAS, and then reach out, look, let me tell you.
And Big Brother.
Reach out to that your neighbor you think is a nobody.
His vote counts for something.
See, look, let me tell you.
His vote counts for something. We're Nigeria Info. Welcome if you have just tuned in.
In my area, Okada riders, area boys, I know them, they're my friends. Because these people, whether you like it or not, they are the ones that vote. You don't vote. So you can influence them, you can talk to them, you can speak the language they understand on why they should vote. They also face the same problem, or why they should vote for a different person, why they shouldn't follow hook, line, and sinker that politician who's coming to share money. But when you insulate yourself from them and you think because you drive a flashy car and then you're just waiting. Yes, you're waiting a God sent. It doesn't happen. It won't happen. So that's why consistently I complain about, look, voters' apathy. There's need for us to participate in the process. That's the only time we actually have a say in government.
Every time after that, you're just complaining.
Every time after that. So if you don't have the right people there, you are just going to wait. It's just like people telling you now that we'll just wait for Buhari to leave. But are we ready to vote? Are we even asking for the candidates now? Nobody's asking. Where are the candidates? What are the antecedents? Let's begin to interrogate them. What have you done before? Buhari came, we said, even if it's a tissue paper, let him come. And then we say, oh, we are faced between the devil and the deep blue sea. But all the alternatives that we had, nobody looked at them. Kingsley Moghalu was there. We told him he won't win. Including his Twitter followers refused to vote for him. What do you call it? Fela Durotoye had more than how many thousand Twitter followers?
True.
How many voted for him?
So wait.
But it is their vote that he needed.
So I mean, this is so obvious. It seems as though we're our own contradiction.
Yes.
We are our own disaster.
They will tell you, if I vote, the vote won't count. That in some cases in Okota, that area boys came and disrupted the process.
And maybe they don't even believe in the Banky W's and the younger people you
go
named.
check
They probably don't believe in him.
Banky W's Instagram
Followers.
page now, he would have more than 1 million followers.
Oh, absolutely.
But how many voted for him on
How
that
many
day?
voted for him?
Even those in the followers in that locality, they will tell you the process will be disrupted. How about the areas where the process were not disrupted? How about in those areas? How many people came out to vote for these people that you believe, that you know will
That's
go
you
there?
follow on Twitter, if for nothing. At least you know them to some degree.
Yes. Look, let me tell you, that's why sometimes I look at people, they say, oh, there is no hope, there is no hope. Yes, there won't be hope. If you believe there is no hope,
There
then
is
won't
no
be
hope.
But if you believe that there is hope, and all of us, by the time my vote joins yours and join the third person's own, and at least that's 3, you take another 3 again, that's 6. That's how you win election. There are no cents on the ballot papers.
And this Sheyi guy, Sheyi he's not an angel. He's another man from the people.
Exactly. And then in political democracy, if you are not on the table, you're on the menu. And it is those that vote that will be on the table.
Yeah.
Those that don't vote
On
are
the
on the
menu.
menu. And if you're on the menu, that means you'll be eaten by those on the table.
Well, what a very graphic way to really subject us to the abuse we have allowed ourselves to be subjected
Exactly.
to. Oh, you're not on the table, you're on the menu. That
Yes.
sounds alarming.
And then when you're on the menu, they will eat you raw.
But that's really what it is.
As officials, look at Edo State, for example, what is happening. And the man says, look, I have paid you. I bought all these things. I bought the seats. So why do I need to have recourse to you again to select commissioners or do what I want to do? It is the same thing. When the man, that is why the man believes everything, their pertenances belongs to him. Because he paid you to get there. What's this woman's name? Senator Olujimi from Ekiti. He said, look, I bought my seats to get here. I know how much I spent. I paid people. Which political party in Nigeria collect dues from its members? Instead, they are the ones that give. That's why they will steal, because they know when they come back to you, you will ask for
money.
when you break
Yeah,
up.
you
Nobody's
ask for
asking
money.
his senator, how many laws have you made that will empower, that will impact our locality?
What have you
Say,
done?
Twale Baba, what did you bring? And then the man
This money about
Kadaros and then there's power. And it is those poor people go queue up and collect. The one that we vote, they will tell you, this man, I was dying of hungry, he came to me. But you that is my neighbor, that drive flashy car, through the street every day, you have never stopped one day to give me 1 naira. When he gave me 1,000 naira, so that is him that I know. So we also need to mobilize against these people and give them a run for their money. Our vote during registration in 2015, I know people who volunteered generator to INEC officials to power their direct data capture machine to register people. Are we doing it now? No, we are not, because that time we felt the pain. But today we are very tolerant. Though we complain, but we are very tolerant of the situation. So
then we can't change it.
Election came, stood under the sun to say, "Come May, we will vote Jonathan out." This very party for us, wore him suits, made him look democratic.
Yeah.
But now that he was repackaged as a nationalist, but is sectional, is nepotistic. You use the same method. Don't sit down and say, "Oh, DSS will arrest me. Oh, this one will do that one." If my vote
and it's
won't
legal,
count.
so you're not doing anything illegal. It's
You're not doing
right.
anything
You're
illegal.
Exercising your
All
right.
you are doing is the DSS man, that man there, is also facing the same problem. The same policeman, one called in and complained. 65,000 naira for 15 years. He's facing the same problem. We all go to the same market. So if you understand this psychology, you also need to talk to them that, come on, Oga, leave all this story. Yes, you work for government, but we are all facing the same problem. We have to change the status quo.
We have to.
We have to vote in people who will, empower us as a people and elevate this country. This man, I have seen his antecedent. This is where he has worked. That's why people volunteer. In other clients, people volunteer to work for election. Here, no, there are no volunteers. People want to make money from the system, and then you expect things to change. That's why, like I said, we're a nation of those either waiting to steal or those who are stealing already. And that's why I tell people, don't pray for me for appointment. I don't need it. Three children. At the end of the day, once I'm able to train them, I've done my bit. I don't need a mansion to be recognized as a Nigerian. That's why sometimes I tell people, don't add barrister to my name. Liberos Oshoma is okay. Because if we all have that mentality, Nobody will want to get into public office and steal.
With an ambition, yeah.
I told you last time, a client came to me and that all these properties he has in VI and Keja, children are dead, not interested in any, and they're crying that if only they know what he went through.
We're off on a break. We'll be right back.
Every now and then, sometimes it's sugar.